Education for Sustainable Development, or ESD, aims to transfer sustainability-related values, skills, and knowledge to students. The main goal is to change behavior and to provoke skills that can help ensure a healthy environment for human beings. It is essential that ESD is incorporated into global trends in education, such as outcome-based learning. This approach emphasizes learning to do rather than learning to know. In 2012, the European Commission called for a fundamental shift in education and a greater focus on learning outcomes that can help solve 21st century problems. ESD curriculum planning starts with the creation of learning outcomes, that is, what students are capable of doing after they complete a course. Then, curricula instructions and assessment tools are developed for its implementation. Outcome-based learning, however, has not traditionally been used to ensure that sustainability skills are firmly embedded in all subject fields across curricula. Given the environmental challenges we face globally, like climate change and a transition toward a green economy, it is essential that we change our behavior. This entails integrating key sustainability skills into standard subjects like math and science, as well as subjects that don't traditionally emphasize them, such as civics, physical fitness, and engineering. One of the best examples of this approach is the Regional Framework Program, ESD, in the Western Balkans, which was implemented in Serbia, Kosovo, and Montenegro from 2012 to 2017, with the financial support from the Rockefeller Brothers Fund, Europe Aid, and other donors. This program was internationally recognized as a best practice in the evaluation report 10 years of the UNECE strategy on ESD. In close cooperation with the Ministries of Education and the Regional Environmental Center for Central and Eastern Europe, educational curricula in all three countries were reformed in line with sustainable development principles. Fortunately, broader educational reforms underway as part of the global shift to the outcome-based learning approach to education provided this opportunity. New curricula takes years to pilot and remain in place for generations, which is why this approach must be done in all countries developing new curricula. In Serbia, the Ministry of Education, in partnership with the REC and Europe Aid, developed sustainable development subject learning outcomes for 1/3 of all primary and secondary education curricula. In the subject of biology, for example, students must know the causes of land, water, and air pollution in order to better understand and predict consequences. In informatics, students must understand how social media can create barriers between them and the natural world. The approach in Montenegro was to formulate sustainability-related themes and topics for all subject fields in pre-primary, primary, secondary, and general education curricula, as well as in vocational education. Teachers are now obliged to cover green economy, human rights, environmental protection, sustainable cities and communities, biodiversity, environment and health, and climate change in their lessons. One thematic example is climate change. This theme can be directly linked to all subjects by communicating key messages. First, humans have a direct impact on the rising global temperatures through the use of fossil fuels. At the same time, they can play a role in reducing emissions by changing their behavior. In geography, students should know how different countries are and will be impacted in the future due to climate change. In mathematics, students should know how to calculate the total carbon emissions of a community, country, or region. In all subjects, the specific content on climate change is connected to those overarching messages. In Kosovo, the approach was to embed ESD into the framework curricula in the main goals and challenges, as well as in learning outcomes. These concepts were also integrated into the core curricula fields and levels, as were cross-curricula issues such as global warming and renewable energy. Afterwards, teaching guidelines were produced for each subject. Of course, a policy framework cannot accomplish everything on its own. However, with the support of teacher trainings, instructional materials, and assessments, these policies are now put into practice. We hope that this video will inspire more countries to integrate essential sustainability skills and values into current and future educational reforms.